Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. This is again New York style. Assalamu alaikum. Alhamdulillah. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Nahmaduhu wa nasalli ala rasulil kareem amma ba'd. Everybody asked me how long I'm going to take. I said 5 minutes. So I only have one story to tell you. One thing that I would like all of you to take back with you, that I hope and I wish that inshallah will inspire every one of us. Last June 20, I think June 3rd to be exact, I was in Karachi. I was in Karachi for a reason that I started a project, the hospital, which many of you are familiar with, was one of the first neuropsychiatric hospital facility in the entire Pakistan. When I was there, I said I need to get inspired by a man and a legend himself, and I want to go see Dr. Abdul Bari's. I went and I saw him. He is above and beyond the words that really explain his life. So I sat very personally with him, and I asked him for advice because his brother was my teacher. So I asked him that I need something as an advice for you, and subhanAllah, things that he shared with me truly changed the vision for my life. And then he took my hand and he took me to this entire corridor of children who were being treated with cancer patients. And I remember receiving a gift from one of the students, or one of the patients there, who was also a student, and she was so inspirational. And as mentioned, that it is something that you all have to see. But that one story that I said I will share with you, and I promise I conclude, it's a story from the life of Umar bin Khattab radiallahu anhu. Only one story. And at the end of the story, I will leave you a question. And that question is, what is my legacy? This is a question that I will ask you, and I will request you that when you go back to bed tonight, you ask yourself only one question after hearing the story. So quickly, what is the story? They say it was the time of Umar bin Khattab radiallahu anhu, while he was situated in his court where people would come and bring in questions and issues and problems, and all of a sudden there were two elderly persons who of a mature age. They were dragging a younger boy to the court of Umar radiallahu anhu. So Umar radiallahu anhu was surprised to see what is happening. Why is this little kid being dragged? So Umar radiallahu anhu got up, he asked them, what's the reason? So the two elderly men, who were comparatively more older than this younger boy, said, "Oh Umar, this young boy has killed our dad. And in lieu of him killing our dad, we want in qisas, in retaliation, that the life of this young child should also be taken." So Umar radiallahu anhu was shocked. He said, what? This young boy killed your dad? Impossible. What happened? So Umar radiallahu anhu asked this young boy, and he said, what happened? So he says, allow me to explain what happened. He said, I was raised as an orphan. My dad passed away when I was very young. The responsibility of the entire household was mine, and my dad was a shepherd. He used to graze camels and other animals, and I have two young sisters and my mom, and I take care of them. So now I still am a shepherd, and one day my camel, while it was grazing in its pasture, accidentally stepped the border and ate in the land of their father, accidentally. And their father became so enraged that he took a piece of rock and he threw it at my camel, and it struck it in the eye, and I saw it become blind in front of my eye. And this is an authentic story. So he said, I, being a young person, got so mad that I took back that rock and I threw it at the elderly man, not because I wanted to take his life, but he hurt my camel. It struck him on his head and he knocked out and he passed away. And he says, I never meant to take his life. But Umar radiallahu anhu said, it is a due course that you take his life. That's the course. So that means that your life has to be taken. He says, Umar, I admit this is my fault. My life has to be taken. But I only request you for one thing, and that is that you allow me 3 days to take care of my finances, my home, my responsibility, because there's no one for my mom and my sisters. I only need 3 days. And I promise I'll come back. Everyone laughed. They said, no one is coming back to give their life, right? If you tell me that your life has been taken now, and he said, I come back in 3 days. So Umar radiallahu anhu said, I'll let you go only if there's a guarantor on your behalf, that if you don't come in 72 hours and 3 days, they will give their life. So Umar radiallahu anhu said, anyone in the entire masjid, any guarantor? No one is going to raise their hands. So he goes twice, any guarantor? No. He says, any guarantor? The third time. All of a sudden, an elderly man from the back of the room raised his hands. And he says, I'm ready. I'll give my life if this kid doesn't show up. So when Umar radiallahu anhu looked at him, he was none other than Abu Zar al-Ghafari radiallahu anhu, the great Sahabi. So he said, Abu Zar, you? He said, yes, me. 3 days, if this kid doesn't show up, you can take my life. The kid leaves. He takes care of his responsibility. The first, second, third day almost came. The kid is nowhere to be seen. It's almost Maghrib time. The two men go to their house and knock the door of Abu Dhar radiallahu anhu. Hazrat, you gotta come. With all respect to you and then who you are, but you took the guarantee, you gotta come. So I said, I'll come with you, but let's wait till the Maghrib Salah. Let's wait till the time that we have given this child. They're sitting in the masjid, it's almost Maghrib time, and all of a sudden the kid shows up. He says, I'm so sorry I'm here. I took a little longer than I was supposed to, but I'm here before the 3 days. And I'm here to give my life. So Umar radiallahu anhu was shocked. Everyone was shocked. So he said, and I'll conclude, I promise I'm almost done. He said, why did you come back? There was no need for you to come back because there was a guarantor. If you would have left, no one would have ever asked for you. You would have ran away and saved your life. He said, it was so easy for me to do this. मेरे लिए बहुत ही आसान था कि मैं भाग जाता. लेकिन मेरे मरने के बाद लोग क्या कहते कि एक उम्मत मुहम्मदिया कि एक शख्स ने कसम खाई थी लेकिन अपने वादे को पूरा न कर सका. A man from the ummah of the Prophet ﷺ took a qasam and a promise and he never fulfilled his promise. He said, I would never leave a legacy where people could point a finger towards me and said that I lied being an ummati of the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ. Umar radiallahu anhu said, Abu Dhar, why did you stand up for this boy? When there was no need for you to stand up as a guarantor. He says, आपने पहली दफा पूछा और दूसरी दफा पूछा, फिर मेरे दिल में एहसास आया कि अगर क़यामत के दिन यह सवाल हो जाता कि मेरे उम्मती के अंदर किसी एक शख्स को ज़रूरत थी और पूरी मजलिस से कोई शख्स खड़ा ना हुआ, तो मुझे दुख हुआ कि मैं ऐसी ज़िंदगी कैसे गुजार के चला जाऊं कि मैं एक शख्स के काम भी ना आ सका. What kind of legacy would I live if I die on the basis where I never helped someone who was in need? He said, I'd rather give my life than leave a legacy that hasn't helped anyone else. And then Umar radiallahu anhu looks towards these two men who are waiting for him to be killed. And the two men says, Umar isko maaf kar dete hain. We forgive this man. And I said, for what reason? He says, क़यामत के दिन अगर किसी ने पूछा कि किसी शख्स ने दरगुजर और माफ़ी मांगी and they ask you for forgiveness and you never asked and you never forgive them, he said, we can't leave behind that legacy as well. We want to let him go and we want to free him for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. My only thing is, and I'll conclude with this word, what is my legacy? What is every one of us leaving behind? For many of you, I know you personally, brothers and sisters. Allah has given us everything that we can imagine in our lives. A handful of you are better than billions of people across the world. I promise, I don't lie, that Allah has blessed us with. But what is our legacy? What am I leaving behind? If I'm gone, what's left of me? And that's the question that every one of us has to ask ourselves. Be it Indus, be it anything of good, we need to participate for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, for nothing else and no names. And when we are mukhlis, when we are sincere, it is Allah who grants honor both in this world and on the Day of Judgment. So my concluding words, brothers and sisters, and forgive me, I took a little bit more than 5 minutes, I'm so sorry. But my concluding words is the point to please remember, what is my legacy? That's the question that we always need to ask ourselves. What is my legacy? May Allah bless all of you, the entire team. Thank you so much for your invitation. May Allah bless you for being a leader, for an inspiration for all of us, and for all those who are present here. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you and accept from us, and may Allah give us tawfiq to live our life according to the Quran and Sunnah. Jazakumullah khair.